Good afternoon. It's Saturday, September 13th, 2025. This is Robert Sin at CEO Technician on X, at Goldfinger on CEO.ca, and this is Goldfinger Capital on YouTube and Substack, as you can see. Before we get started, I want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in. I appreciate your time and attention. I appreciate greatly the people that came up to me and introduced themselves at Beaver Creek last week. The Beaver Creek Precious Metals Summit just wrapped up in Colorado, and I met a bunch of people who read my stuff on Substack and watch these videos. So I really appreciate that. It was a pleasure to meet all of you, and I want to say I'm grateful for your viewership. And for those of you watching this, please shoot me an email on Substack or send me a private message on Substack and introduce yourself. Say hi. Always a pleasure to meet other investors in this sector. So let's rip through some charts. Definitely check out my Substack posts. Two of them are free posts. Two are premium, behind a paywall. I talk about some of the stocks from Beaver Creek, some of the good meetings I had at Beaver Creek, some of the breakout charts, and some of the things on my mind. So definitely check that out. But what a week for silver stocks. Silver is the fashionable metal of September for sure. And look at this Global X Silver Miners Exchange Traded Fund. Incredible breakout on the monthly. MACD just going parabolic. We got the RSI on the monthly up to 80. Volume just pouring in. Obviously, this is a bull market. And frankly, I think some of the stuff we saw in the silver juniors last week is just inflows into the silver mining sector. It's like an elephant going through a small door, right? It's just not going to fit. And the whiskey bottle is pouring out from the shot glass all over the table in the silver junior space, right? And so we're seeing fund flows across the space. Blackrock Silver stock charts doesn't get the Canadian volume right because it doesn't have the alt exchanges, but this was 27 million shares traded across different venues on Friday. Incredible trading volume. Obviously, this is some fund buying. This is some exchange traded fund rebalancing, and who knows, this might be a very big investor coming in here to Blackrock Silver. I don't have the explanation for all the volume, but big upper wick there. It hit 98 cents, closed at 83. Definitely looks, like an emotional climax, volume climax for sure. But we'll have to see. And also just notice, right? So on this chart, I have the 40-day moving average, right? Everybody else has a 50-day moving average. I have the 40-day moving average. Why do I do that? Well, it works. Look at this. The pullbacks in Blackrock hit the 40-day moving average 3 times and bounced off perfectly. Guanajuato Silver, GSVR, and another incredible silver mining story. This is actually a producer. It's a junior, but it's now a 250 million market cap. They did a financing in August. Stock dropped to 25 cents. Found support, and it's doubled in the last 2 weeks. Doubled just on the silver breakout above $40 an ounce. And obviously, they're catching some fund flows as well. And some of the ETF rebalancing at the end of last week. An incredible turnaround story is unfolding in this name. Kootenay Silver KTN, another breakout silver junior chart. I talked about this one a little bit on my Substack, so check that out. But the chart, it's a beautiful breakout. It's as simple as that. Rackla Metals, this is not a silver miner. It's a gold explorer in the Tombstone Gold Belt, actually in the Northwest Territories. But look at this uptrend. Incredible uptrend. And there's a lot of charts like this now across the junior mining sector in September 2025. But while I am long here, I will say that the expectations are pretty high on this one. I got it. I understand why they're high. Right? You don't need to explain that to me, but I just want to keep it somewhat balanced here. There is risk. There's a lot of risk, right? If the assays don't match up to expectations. A stock like this could drop 30, maybe even 40%. We've seen a couple of those recently, including Ramp. Kind of broke my heart with that one dropping from over $1 to 35 cents, right? So we must remain cognizant of risk, especially in the drill specs. Newcore Gold. This was one of my best meetings at Beaver Creek. They got a lot of things going for them. Gold project in Ghana, one of the best gold mining countries in Africa. From a technical standpoint, just a chart standpoint, MACD bull cross on the weekly, volume pouring in on the breakout last week, and the relative strength index is also confirming last week's high volume breakout, right? So Newcore is going to have some warrants expiring here in a couple weeks. That should take the lid off the stock on the upside. And then they're drilling. They got 3 rigs going there in Ghana, and pre-feasibility study on the way in early 2026, and the potential for a major re-rating on this one. Aurion Resources, AU, and the TSX-V, Finnish Gold Explorer, another good week, especially the last 3 weeks, or the last 3 days of last week. Broke out above $1 for the first time in a long time, pulled back and retested the 95 cent level, found support, gathered itself, and it's charging back above $1 again as of Friday's close. A lot to like here as well. They're also in the progress of drilling in Finland at the Vanha target. And there's a lot of other things going on here that could add value to this company. And I don't have the time to get into it in this video, but check out the Substack. Emerita Resources. So I got to be careful with this one because there's people on CO.ca who are going to call me out on every single thing I say. We have a bunch of legal experts on CO.ca, Spanish, legal experts. So I don't want to say anything wrong about the pending court case in Spain, but I will just simply say this is a bullish weekly chart that really caught my attention last week. And it's interesting because there was like a short report that came out that didn't seem like it was really anything new in that short report, as is often the case with these short reports. The stock dipped, but it was immediately bought back up. The 150 level is a big level. We closed right on it on Friday. Let's see what this stock does next week. But from a technical standpoint, 3 tests of support near $1. Support held every single time. And now it's gathering itself and moving up again. Looks bullish to me. Okay? Looks bullish. I'm open to going long, but I don't have a position right now. Just telling it like it is. Okay? Emo. Talon Metals. So this one, again, CO.ca, people frustrated. There's no news since early August, but who cares? The chart, it's a high and tight bull flag. It's a nice consolidation above the 40-day moving average. Volume is tapered off, as one would expect when there's not a lot of news flow. There's not a lot of new things to digest, but the one thing you can be sure of is when a company is drilling, and they're drilling with 5 rigs across 3 different projects, there will be news. And we're closer to that news, and there'll be a lot of news between now and year end and even into the new year, right? So if you understand the investment case here for Talon Metals, if you understand the new discovery at the Vault Zone at Tamarack, then you should be pleased with this quiet consolidation, right? It's bullish. Ridgeline Minerals. So this was a Beaver Creek darling, Tuesday and Wednesday of Beaver Creek. Stock jumped up to 21 cents, but then some profit taking kicks in. But the main thing is, I think that Chad Peters, the CEO, was able to remind investors of the bigger picture value opportunity here in Ridgeline. And they have 2, I think maybe even 3 drill programs ongoing right now at their flagship projects, including that MT anomaly at the Chinchilla sulfide target. And the first hole into that target is getting very close to the target zone, right? So from a drill spec play, this one is pretty exciting, and it's not expensive. Midnight Sun Mining. So this was also one of my best meetings at Beaver Creek. Obviously, it's a great uptrend from 50 cents to $1.19 at Friday's high. But then some profit taking came in there. Big bearish engulfing candlestick there on Friday. But this is a very clear uptrend. Wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back to 90 cents, but I'm pretty sure the dips are going to be bought in this one. But a lesson to many to be careful chasing stocks after very extended runs, right? Copper and Zambia, very high quality story, MMA on the TSX-V, and then ASCU on the TSX. So the Cactus Mine, the Cactus Project in the Arizona Copper Belt. I really like this one. This was also one of my better meetings at Beaver Creek. Also pulling back to that magical 40 period moving average. I like it. Buying it here off the test of the 40 period. We've got a resource update coming very soon, followed by pre-feasibility study next month. I think the news is going to be good. Long Arizona Sonoran copper, and that's the end of this quick rip through the charts here on Saturday, September 13th. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button and have a powerful trading week.